Hello there. Today I'm gonna tie a fly that I have named the PoorMans Piglet. Many of you, if you have been following the Danish fly scene, will know that there has been quite a lot of fuss about a fly called pattegrisen. This is kind of like my way of making an easier, more attainable, cheaper version of that fly. So I'm going to use a lot of quite cheap materials, but this fly will have kind of like the same effect in the water. It's not going to be completely as awesome looking in the water as the pattegris will, but it's going to be a close call. First we're going to use some grizzly marabou, then we're going to use some pink marabou, some gliss and dub in hot pink, and we're going to use an ordinary hen neck hackle for this fly. We're also going to use some 0.20 diameter ordinary monofilament line for the rib. Good. Okay. So I'm taking a small bundle of grizzly marabou fibers here, cutting them off, and then I'm gonna tie them down here at the bottom of the fly. I'm gonna start roughly where the bud is on the hook, like that. Okay. After that, I'm gonna take some marabou feathers. These are, well, not as good looking in the water as the whiting spay hackles are, but the whiting spay hackles is like is like, how much is this? 150, maybe around 100 euros to purchase, and that is just very expensive, and also the supply of them is quite scarce. So you should be lucky to get them in the right color, the salmon color, because no shop seems to have those in stock. So I'm gonna take a bundle of this and tie it down around there. Instead of making a hackle, I'm just making a wing of marabou feathers. This is not quite enough, I think, so I'm gonna take a little more, like that. Cut that off. Adjust the length of these so they won't look too much, be too uniform, like that. And there we have the tail, or the claws and stuff like that of the shrimp. I'm just gonna tie all of this marabou down up over the body, like that. So far so good. And now I'm gonna show you a little trick, something that is mainly on the Danish market, but the Danish market has been noticed. It's two Danes that have made an outstandingly cool product. This is something called easy shrimp eyes. It's two eyes on a small plastic strip, and there are some bars on this strip, so that when you tie it down, you are sure that these eyes will be fastened correctly and they will not move. So no more fishing with a one-eyed fly. And also it's very easy to attach this, to tie this in. First I'm gonna make a small bundle of dubbing down here, of this glisten dub in fluoro pink or hot pink, like that. And then I'm gonna tie these in. Be sure to turn these the right side so that these barred the barred side of this strip is upside, so your tying thread has something to grip onto, like that. And now I'm gonna tie in the monofilament line. This is only a necessity to make your fly stronger. So this will make your fly more durable and make it last for more than just 5 or 6 fish. I tie this all the way up along the shank, and then turn it around and tie it back down. So I'm sure it, because this monofilament line is fairly smooth, so to make sure that it stays on there like that. Then I'm gonna find me a nice pink feather on this cheap Chinese hen neck. I'm gonna find me a fairly large one from the top side of this neck, and then I'm gonna completely strip one of the sides off. And it's important to notice what sides you strip off, because I'm gonna tie this down, not in the top as I normally do, but I'm gonna tie this down in the bottom, because when I do that and I turn the hackle up along the shank of the hook, the longest fiber will be down here at the bottom, which will make the fly taper slightly up towards the eye, and give the effect I desire. So when you hold this feather up, it's facing yourself. You would want to tie it in with the blank side towards yourself. That is the side that is facing upwards when it's lying, when it's still attached to the neck. And then the side you want to peel off is the top side, because when you turn the feather, then all the other feathers will be in the right position, like this. And then I'm going to tie this down here, facing towards myself. Sorry, so you can't see this. Like that. I'm gonna cut off, if I can untangle my scissors, like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some dubbing and then create a body. Again, I'm using this glisten dub in fluoro pink or hot pink. I can't recall what the color is called. Like that. And I'm gonna make this fly so that down here where the eyes are, down here, which is actually the front of the shrimp, is gonna be the most dense, the most thick part of the fly. And then gradually I'm gonna make the fly less and less thick, so it tapers off down towards the eye of the hook. Just gonna tie this in rather loosely, because if I do that, I can take my dubbing brush and then brush out the dubbing afterwards and give it this this live aura effect. Like that. Apply a bit more dubbing. But if you haven't tried the shrimp eyes, the easy shrimp eyes, you definitely must. It's one of those materials that just makes your life so much more easy. They're a bit expensive, but you kind of have to expect that when they're handmade by two Danish people. But the quality on them is just superb. Take the feather. Turn it up through the body with the dubbing, like this, all the way up to the front of the fly. Give it one more turn up in front, tie it down, cut it off, take the monofilament, and make sure that this is not going to go exactly in the same grooves as the hackle is. This has to be in other places to ensure that your hackle is fastened and strengthened and more durable, because it is forced down on numerous occasions, on numerous places by your monofilament. I'm gonna turn this monofilament backwards and tie it down yet another time to make sure that it's sticks that it goes nowhere. Cut it off like that. Hold all these fibers backwards. Make a whip finish. Tighten. Cut it off. Of course, apply some varnish, but I don't have that on me right now. And then I just need to find my dubbing brush. 1 second. Oh, here it is. Like that. So I am forcing all the hackle fibers backwards with my dubbing brush to make the fly seem more streamlined. And after I've done that, I'm gonna start peeling out some of this dubbing to make the aura effect, to give this a more alive look, a more transparent look also. This would have been easier if I had made a dubbing loop. That would have taken a bit more time. And the whole point with this fly is that it's fast, it's efficient, it's good and easy. Way more easy than the pedigrees. But I will, well, not eat my hat, but I will bet quite a lot that this will do the trick on almost any trout. So if a trout will take the pedigrees, then it will take this fly as well. I've fished a lot with the pedigrees throughout these last couple of years, and actually I fished so much with it that it was for several years the only fly I ever used. And I was very satisfied with it. But eventually I became a father and stuff like that, so I didn't have as much time to sit and cuddle with the flies and spend as much time fly tying. So I decided to make the fly pattern more efficient, and to cut out all the aspects I thought was unnecessary. And eventually I cut off more and more of the steps in the fly, and eventually I ended up with this one. So this is the pedigrees I'm using now, and I call this in Danish fattiggrisen, which translates roughly to the PoorMans Piglet. And there you go, PoorMans Piglet.